You will not believe what is going on in the real estate market here in Southwest Florida. We have some crazy stats that we're going to be reporting on here. And if you stick to the end, there's going to be a little change that I think that might be very interesting that's coming forward here in the near future. So let's jump right in. Now, every month we go over the monthly stats and what's happening here in Southwest Florida. That encompasses Lee County, Florida, which is Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and then Collier County, which is Naples, essentially Naples, Marco Island. And so we're looking at the year-over-year stats because that gives us a really good indicator for this time last year, how things were compared to how they are now. That's very important because we are a seasonal market. There are shifts and changes that happen throughout season, throughout season and off season. And so going year over year is really the best way to be able to tell what's actually happening here. So as we go, we're going to jump right into the stats. So we're going to start off with our closed sales. This is a really big number, a really big indicator of what we're experiencing here in the market. So as you see in Collier County, we had 335, these are single family homes that sold in this are July stats, so the month of July, and that number is down a whopping 48%. So it's half of what it was last year. That is significant. And it's also about down 30+% in just the past couple of months alone. So that's a big deal as well. You see in Lee County, we're 1,168 homes that sold, and that's down 23%. So starting off purely, the number of transactions are significantly lower than what they were last year. We've heard about the shifts. That's definitely what we're seeing right now is a big market shift. And so what is going on with pricing? Now this is a really big part of the story. So the median price of a single family home in Collier County is $748,270. That's up 13% year over year. But there's more to this story. So Lee County, the median price of a single family home right now is $420,000, and that's up 17% year over year. Now, just 3 months ago, both of those prices were significantly higher than what they are today. And so even though our year over year numbers seem like, we've got double-digit growth year over year, that's a good thing, right, Brad? Well, yeah, that is a good thing. However, if you purchased a home 3 months ago, there's a pretty good opportunity that you lost some of that value. And so if we look at that, in Collier County in the past 3 months, it was $875,000 was the median price 3 months ago. And again, now it's at $748,000. That's $125,000 of difference in just 3 months' time. And that represents 14.5% decrease over the past 3 months. I mean, that's a really, really big deal. We've been talking about the idea that this was coming with the price reductions that we're seeing, and it's here. And the difference in Lee County is at 10.6% decrease just over the past 3 months alone. So as we fast forward into what we'll see next year, because we know the start of 2022 was really strong, we're gonna possibly see some pretty good negatives that come forward. Now, as we look at days on market, that's an indicator of how quickly we're turning over that inventory. In Collier County, we're at 26 days on market, and in Lee County, we're at 16 days on market. Those are both down around 60%, up 60% year over year, so almost 1.5 times more days on market. That's a big deal. And then our new listings are down in Collier. We're at 524 new listings from the previous month, and that's down 12%. And then we're actually up a few, so 1,737 new listings in Lee County, and that is up 8% year over year. So we're seeing a little less coming on the market in Collier, a little more coming on the market in Lee compared to last year. Now, pending inventory. Look at this. We have 707 pending in inventory in Collier County. That's down 37%. In Lee, 2,068 homes that are pending inventory, and that's down 16%. So we have less home, we have more homes available, we have less homes that are pending, we have less closings that are happening as a result, and that's just what we're seeing in the overall market. Now look at these numbers. So as we look at the month's supply, we're at 3.3 months worth of supply. When we get to like 4 to 6, that is basically equilibrium in the marketplace. So Collier County, at 3.3 months is still in the seller's market territory, but that has shifted very quickly, and that's actually up 175% over where it was last year. So just incredibly large numbers as far as the amount of inventory and the supply that's there. In Lee County, we're at 2.5 months of supply, and that is up 127% year over year. Again, triple digit increases in the amount of supply, the percentage of the supply. That's a really big deal. Our dollar volume, so this is the total number of the properties that transacted. If we add them all together, it's $444 million in Collier County and $643 million in Lee County. So what are we looking at? In the beginning, I had talked about there might be a slight little shift that's happening. And that comes with our inventory. So what we're seeing, and on this graph, you'll see that our inventory has been rising quite significantly, basically from about February of this year until now. And it's really started to stabilize. So the amount that has been increasing has been decreasing, if that makes sense. It's been increasing by less. And now for this past week, we actually saw the amount of inventory in all of Southwest Florida actually go down just a little bit. And the overall market is looking at about 2.5 months worth of inventory, and that has stayed fairly stable. Now, prices have come down. So we've been seeing over the past month, every single week, week over week over week, 1 out of every about 8 homes was taking a price reduction that was on the market for sale. Now that rate is about 1 out of every 10 homes, so 10% of the properties take a price reduction on any given week. So that's still a very significant statistic that we are following, but there is a smaller percentage of people who are taking price reductions, and properties are still turning over. They're still being purchased. And so that inventory, I'm going to continue to look at that because that inventory and where we've crested there, that's going to be a really important indicator for us if we're going to see the prices continue to fall as quickly as they have over the past 3 months. Now, I'd love to hear from you in this. Where do you think that we're going in terms of the real estate market here in Southwest Florida? Do you think that we're stabilizing and things are gonna, you know, that's the bottom, if you will? Or do you think we have a lot farther to go in the downward trajectory? Let me know in the comments, and please, if you can remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That really helps the YouTube algorithm show a little love for the work that we put into these videos. Have an awesome day, and we'll talk soon.